Texans. Now here's their pick.
With the 16th pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Kevin Johnson, defensive back, Wake Forest.
Well, guys, the Houston Texans select Kevin Johnson, cornerback out of Wake Forest. Certainly don't think a lot of us had this guy in this pick, Kevin or Dave. Is this just one of those guys you think the Texans just saw, they scouted, and they just fell in love with?
Yeah, that has to be it because we all didn't expect it. If they were going to go cornerback, we all expected Marcus Peters. I personally do not like this pick. I thought there were better cornerbacks on the board. But, like you said, maybe they found their guy, they scouted him, they liked him, and they picked him.
The thing, though, about Marcus Peters is everyone knows his coachability issues. He got kicked off his own team for, getting into numerous fights with the coach, and that causes concern. And what happens is you find a guy like Kevin Johnson that probably feel like he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a 3-year starter, so that shows that he's obviously very solid, very strong. And, the cause for concern is just his ability to come up and make the tackle. He seems to be good in coverage, but sometimes he'll bite on a fake here and there. But it happens to a young corner. But he seems to be very coachable. Again, to start for 3 years in a college football program, that really says a lot, and I think that's probably a big reason here why Texans made this move.
I think the coaches really knew what they were getting with this pick, and I think it was a safe pick. And that's why I think they took him here.
I think so. And when you look at him, it really just screams, this is like a Bill O'Brien type of guy. Very disciplined, very consistent, very solid in everything that he does. I think it's definitely a kind of guy I really see fitting into his system. And it'll be interesting because I think we see what the Texans are building, certainly a resurgence last year. I think they're still a quarterback away from really figuring things out. But there's certainly a lot of things to like about this team. And with J.J. Watt leading your side, I mean, how could you not get any better than that?
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see how the other moves that the Texans will make, because they can find themselves in some serious playoff contention. J.J. Watt, Vince Wilfork on the line, Jadeveon Clowney coming back from some injury, and a healthy Arian Foster really can make a big difference. We saw what Arian was able to do last year. He's still one of the best backs in this league, and if they get themselves a legitimate quarterback, the Texans can really make themselves a lot of noise. When people were high on Matt Schwab, people saw them as a Super Bowl contender. So it'll be interesting to see, and I like what you said there about building a culture.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about building that culture, but let's stay in the culture in that same division, guys. I got to talk more Marcus Mariota because right now, still haven't heard anything about any trade. He is my guy, and I make it well known. But when we look at it I think right now, it looks like there's not a lot of talk. It seems like right now Marcus is with the Titans. Marcus Mariota against Andrew Luck. Right now, the two faces quarterback-wise in that division probably. This has a potential to be a heck of a fun matchup to watch, guys.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say now that we're pretty much in the middle of this first round, I think he's going to stay with the Titans. They fell in love with him, and they thought he was good enough to pick. I think it's a great matchup down the road for us to see if Marcus Mariota pans out to be what we think he's going to be. And it should be a fun to watch, at least to say.
No question.
I think maybe we're a little ahead of ourselves here. I could see Andrew Luck being the best quarterback in all of football next year.
Oh, there's no question about that.
Marcus Mariota is not going to be on that level, and the rest of his team is going to be nowhere near that level. In theory, a lot of fun. When it comes to putting the two on the field, not too sure.
There's another thing, though. I think that Marcus Mariota might sit a couple of games to learn how to play in an NFL system because, like we said, a lot of system questions. It might take him a little longer to get the hang of the NFL system. He might sit a couple of games. You don't know.
See, I think if they had a veteran quarterback on that roster, I think they probably would. But, I mean, if you have Zach Mettenberger, still a guy who's very young, I don't know if that would be the best situation to sit behind. But it's certainly a possibility. And I do think Marcus is a guy who, and we heard it from Chip Kelly himself, he's a guy who just, when he got him, he just absorbed information so well. And he just picked things up and understood them so very quickly. So I think he will adjust and understand things quickly. But definitely getting that experience to just look at things and see how it all works. It's going to work out well for them. The 49ers are on the clock, so let's end this right now, readjust, and we'll kind of be a little late for this one, but we'll get it to you nonetheless.